My name is Kimberly Brown. I'm going to be showing you the vertical jumping motion using my tape measure here. I'm going to put it all the way against the wall so that you can see it, just so that it gives a good example. I put some masking tape when I did the testings, although it's a little bit easier, you can see with my tape measure. Plus it's yellow, so it's easier to look at. A couple of the materials I'm using is a tape measure, masking tape. It's going to be a little bit difficult to see because I'm recording it myself, but I did look at a couple of things, just the range of motion for the vertical jump. When I googled it and to look at some videos, a lot of basketball players use it to dunk into the hoop, so that just gives a better visual. You're using your leg motions, and when you're jumping up, you're using your arms to touch the top of the wall. Let me go ahead and show an example once I put my tape measure into play. Obviously my tape measure is extending all the way against the wall. I put it all the way to the top just so that you would be able to get a good visual. When I did record it, I did not have my tape measure as high up because it's not very accurate movements. I'm sorry, very accurate measurements for the movements. Okay, so I'm going to do one sideways. So basically this is my ending line up here. It's kind of hard to see with the light and the paint on my walls. I did put a masking tape along this side of the wall. When I was doing the jumping vertical motions, you're using a lot of your legs, you're using your arms to extend. So you're basically going down, jumping, and although you're lifting your feet off the air, off the floor into the air, and you're touching. That's why a lot of basketball players use it when they're going to dunk. So I'm going to go ahead and try and show you towards the wall so you can see. I'm going to use my fingertips to mark my spot. So we're bending down in the vertical position, jumping up. And when you're touching up, it's kind of hard when you're jumping up to really mark your spot. Earlier I was using an erasable marker, and that was actually marking my spot so I could measure it, which happened to be a really good idea because it's really hard to take videos and do certain testings by yourself. So with the vertical jump position, basically your muscles, you're basically bending and going up, shooting towards the sky, touching the top of your tape measure. A lot of things that we were going over with today were range of motions, and this is definitely a good example of a range of motion because it allows you to be able to test most accurately how high you're getting each time. When you do it over and over and over again in repetition, your muscles do get tired, and it makes it difficult for you to extend in the vertical jumping position. Each time you don't always get the same measurement. That's why when we did our scatter graph, you can see that in the beginning when we were doing the range of motions, we were doing the vertical jump, I would get a little bit higher, and then it would go lower, and then it would go higher. It just fluctuates depending on how much range of motion you put into your legs when you're going to jump up. As well as we're using a kind of like I feel like you're doing a little bit of a prep, because you're actually doing the squatting position and you're like getting yourself ready and then jumping up. So that's basically it. This is the range of motion for the vertical jump. Thank you.